Alright, today I am here to be breaking down this weekend's fights in Qatar, Tsarukyan versus Hooker. This is a pretty fucking good fight night, man, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, obviously we got Dan Hooker, ARMAN Tsarukyan, Belal Muhammad versus Ian Garry in the co-main event. So yeah, I'm looking forward to these fights, man. Without further ado, let's jump into the first fight of the night. We got two debutantes, Marek Bujlo versus Denzel Freeman. Um, yeah, both guys have got pretty much the same record. Freeman's the shorter guy, more experienced guy in terms of like his resume, who he's fought. So yeah, we'll be picking Denzel Freeman to be winning this fight, probably by decision. He does train at Killcliff. He's got a good team behind him. I think he does have a wrestling background, and yeah, I just think Bujlo is just a big Polish guy with not very much skill. He does have quite a few finishes, so I think he could rock Freeman at one point. But yeah, I am going to be picking Freeman to win this fight, probably by a fairly boring decision. Yeah, so the next fight of the night is Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Shamrock, who is making his debut. He trains with Paddy. Um, yeah, man, I am picking Nurullo Aliyev by decision though. Um, I think it's going to be a closer fight than people think. Obviously, Aliyev's undefeated. He fights like Khabib. He looks like Khabib. It's got a strong wrestling base, and Rock is more of a jiu-jitsu guy, obviously training with Paddy. He is quite dangerous off the back, and he's tall for the weight class, and he does do a lot of kicks. Like, he has quite powerful kicks, judging from his tape that I've studied. So I don't think that'll make him quite easy to take down for Aliyev. I think Aliyev's going to catch a kick, maybe a body kick of Shamrock, get him down, and just kind of control him to a 29-28 decision. I do think Shamrock may be able to rock. Shim will be able to rock Aliyev on the feet at some point, maybe like round 2 or something. I do think he's quite a decent striker, and he does have a bit of a height and reach advantage. Not the most significant, but yeah, I think this would be a fairly close fight, but I will be picking Aliyev to edge it out by 29-28 decision. Third fight of the night, we got Ismail Naurdiev looking like a freaking Italian mob boss versus Ryan Loder. It kind of looks like Luke Rockhold. Yeah, I will be picking Naurdiev to win this fight by probably a TKO or a KO. I mean, Naurdiev is a dangerous striker. He's an explosive guy. He did lose to Jung Young Park in his last fight, but despite cheating, he did have Jung Young Park quite hurt, and I thought they were going to call the fight off, but then he ended up losing by decision. But yeah, Loda is just very easily hittable on the feet. He's a wrestler. He doesn't have the best striking. We saw that in his last fight against Azamat Bikoyev. He kind of just got smoked on the feet. And yeah, I just think he has he's way less experienced in MMA than Naurdiev is. And yeah, I do think he'll be able to get a few takedowns maybe early on. But yeah, he's just quite chinny and hittable on the feet. Yeah, I just think Naurdiev's too explosive for a man. I will be picking Naurdiev probably by like a round 2 TKO maybe. Yeah, that is my pick for the third fight of the night. Fourth fight of the night. I'm surprised this is as low down in the prelims as it is, but we got Beksat Aymakan versus Elio Topturio. Alexandre Topturia. Ilya's brother, of course, coach of Ilya. But yeah, I'm actually going to be picking Aymakan to win this fight by decision. Shock horror. Aymakan is just super explosive, man. He's a great boxer. He's got 10 KOs out of 12 wins on his record. He dropped Umar. He had him really hurt early on in that fight, which was his only loss in the UFC. And he recently just smoked Brad Katona in about a minute. And he's just got a bit more of a better resume, like in terms of the opponents that he's facing and their skill level. Obviously, Topuria is a great guy. He's got super good fight IQ, obviously being the coach of Ilya himself. But he's just a bit inactive. He did well against Colby Thickness in his debut, but it was a decision. And, Thickness is a good grappler, man. And I do think Topuria will be able to get, some clinch work, maybe, get a couple of takedowns on Aymakan, as I do think he is a better wrestler Then ARMAN, obviously, as I said, he's primarily a boxer. But I just haven't seen enough from Topuria for me to kind of be confident in picking him. Um, I wouldn't be surprised if they give Topuria a robbery decision just based on his name value. But yeah, I'm going to pick Bixer ARMAN. I do think he might rock Topuria like in second round, maybe drop him, which will be kind of like the biggest moment in the fight, which will give him the edge on the scorecards. Probably a 29-28 decision again for Bixer ARMAN. Bit of an upset. I don't know if there's any betting odds out. No, there's no betting odds, but obviously I do definitely imagine that Topuria is the favorite coming into this fight. But yeah, I will be picking Bixer ARMAN by decision. Next fight of the night, we got Abdul Rahman Yakyayev versus Rafael Cerqueira. Yeah, I'm picking Yakyayev to win by KO, man. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna pick Yakyayev by submission. I'm gonna pick Yakyayev by submission, man. The thing is with Cerqueira, he's 0-3 in the UFC. He was undefeated coming into the UFC, but he's just he's just not on the level of these guys, especially for a young, powerful debutant coming in off the Contender Series. He had a nice KO. Yeah, he's Russian. What else can I say? Yeah, I think Sakura will probably get dropped and submitted. For some reason, I don't see him getting KO'd. I know Yakyayev is a good striker, but I think he's going to use a bit more of his grappling in this fight, seeing as he does have a bit of a striking disadvantage in my opinion. I know Sakura is 11-3, 0-3 in the UFC, but yeah, I just think Yakyayev may use more of his grappling in this fight. I mean, obviously coming into the Contender Series, he wanted to show off, his striking and impress Dana White, and he got a 30-second KO. But yeah, I think he might utilize a bit more of that wrestling base, being from, I believe he's from Dagestan, or maybe he's from Chechnya. Either way, I will be picking Yakyayev to win this fight, probably like a round 2 or round 1 submission. That is my pick for fight number 5 of the night. Fight number 6, we got Alex Perez versus Asu Almabayev. Let's see. I'm fencing this one, man. I'm fencing this one for real because Alex Perez, he's got dangerous hands, and Almabayev, he's more of a grappler. He's got zero power in his hands. He usually just wins by decision. So you know what? I'm gonna pick Perez by TKO here, man. I mean, Almabayev's coming off that loss to Manel Cap, and I do think that Perez has more powerful strikes than Cap. He's not as accurate, obviously, but he's a good boxer. Likes to mix it up with the leg kicks. And if you look at his resume, he's only losing to like top 5 dudes, and Almabayev is just not on that level. I mean, his best win in the UFC is probably, man, I don't know, maybe Ode Osborne or some shit. I don't even know, dude. But yeah, either way, man, I will be picking Alex Perez to win by TKO. Maybe a late, like similar to the Manel Cap fight, maybe like a late round TKO, like round 2, round 3. Yeah, man. I think obviously Almabayev will be the favorite coming from this region, the Muslim region. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Perez to win by KO, and I'm probably gonna get this completely wrong, and Almabayev will fucking win by split decision. But yeah, I just got a feeling, man, Perez is gonna win this fight. I think a lot of people will be picking Almabayev because it's like, oh, he's a young guy. He's from the Central Asian region. Perez is washed. He's old. People are kind of picking the common theme of like, oh, young Muslim fighter destroys American with minimal grappling. But I don't know. I just got a feeling Perez is going to win this one, man. Anyways, moving on to the next fight. We got Nicholas Dalby versus Saigid. Yeah, we're just going to call him Saigid. We got Nicholas Dalby versus Saigid. Saigid, obviously coming in his debut. He's got a great record, 22-2. Trains with Khabib. But yeah, man, I'm picking Dalby, dude. I'm picking Dalby to win by decision. If you just compare their resumes, I know this doesn't mean that much, but if you're comparing resumes, Dalby is, he tends to kind of do really well against guys that he should lose to skill for skill. He's a bit of a dog. I mean, Saigid is more of a submission guy. Dalby's never been submitted. I'm probably cursing this right now. Dalby's going to get fucking guillotined in round 1. But yeah, man, Dalby has never been submitted. He also does kind of have a habit of beating or having close fights with, prospects or guys, as I said earlier, guys who have better skill sets or records than him. He had that draw with Darren Till about 10 years ago. He's beat Bonfim by KO. He's beat Daniel Rodriguez, Muslim Salikov, and he had a really close fight with Rinat Fakhretdinov, who has a really good record himself. Um, Obviously, he's coming off that KO loss to Randy Brown. And I don't think that it takes much away from Dolby as a competitor. I mean, Brown is a really good striker, and he had a huge height advantage. And yeah, man, I just see this fight going quite similar to the Bonfim fight, where Izagak Maiev will he'll start off strong, probably get a few takedowns in the first round, but then Dolby will just kind of start putting the pressure on him, walking him down, landing the boxing, and I can kind of see Shaggy gassing out, maybe in round two, and then Dolby getting a KO or a TKO up against the fence, in the clinch, landing his fucking little rabbit punches, knees to the body, and yeah, man, I just think that Dolby has the skill set to win this. Probably like a late round two TKO where Sagi kind of gasses out from like wrestling too hard. But yeah, man, that is my prediction for fight number 7. And yeah, headlining the prelims, we've got Bogdan Grad versus fucking Luke Riley, lad. Make this fucking guy's a fucking truth, lad. He's a fucking next featherweight champion, lad. Yeah, we got Bogdan Grad versus Luke Riley. Unfortunately, I will be picking Bogdan Grad to win this fight by decision. I mean, Luke Riley's a good prospect, man. He's coming out of Liverpool, England. Trains with Paddy, same as Shamrock. But I think Bogdan Grad is just too much of a dog, man. He's got a great gas tank. And if you just look at the record or, the theme of like big undefeated or prospects coming in from big organizations this year, it's been pretty bad, man. So I'm just going to follow the trend and pick Bogdan Grad by decision. I think he's going to be able to get the takedowns on Luke Riley. If you look at his last fight, Riley's, he did get taken down pretty easily. He did win that fight, obviously, by KO. But, yeah, man, I just think he doesn't have the skill set to deal with a guy like Grad, who's got great, takedowns. He's got good back control and a great gas tank, as I said. I don't think he's going to run out of steam. I do think Riley will probably be able to drop Bogdan Grad, maybe rock him like early on and then kind of slow down as the fight progresses and lose a 29-28 decision. I can just see that. I can just picture that in my head, man. So I like Luke Riley, man. He's a good prospect, but this is a tough matchup for him in his debut. He's still young. I think he's like 25 years old. But yeah, I will be picking Bogdan Grad to win this fight by decision. Now, moving on to the main card, we got Tagir Ulanbekov versus Kyoji Horiguchi coming back to the UFC. I think this fight was booked for like the Azerbaijan card in June, but they had to cancel. I think this fight was booked like 2 or 3 times, but I don't know what happened. I think maybe Ulanbekov's been, pulling out due to injury or something. I mean, I don't know, man. Something's been happening. But anyway, yeah, I'm super excited for this fight, man. We got obviously Ulanbekov. He's got a great record coming in. His only loss in the UFC, I believe, is to Tim Elliott, if I'm not mistaken. And obviously Horiguchi coming back to the UFC after about, man, I don't know. He's been away for a while, man. Maybe 7 or 8 years. And yeah, man, I will be picking Horiguchi by decision. This is probably going to age horribly, seeing as Ulanbekov, he's in that region where they tend to, like, if it's a close fight, they're going to give it to the Muslim, like, Russian, whatever, Muslim dude. But yeah, man, Ulanbekov is a very talented guy. He's quite tall for flyweight, but he's had close fights with guys like like Clayton Carpenter and like who else did he have a close fight with? Azat Maxim, who just lost to fucking Mitch Raposo. I know MMA math doesn't work, as I've said a million times, but damn, I just realized Horiguchi's got a big ass head, man. Anyway, yeah, if you look at the guys that Horiguchi has lost to, I mean, he's got a great record, 34 wins, 5 losses. If you look at who he's lost to, like Mighty Mouse, Kaya Sakura, Sergio Pettis, Patchy Mix, and someone else, like, dude, he's only losing to elite level competition. And Ulanbekov's, I know this doesn't mean much, as I just said, but, he's lost to fucking Tim Elliott, dude. Come on, man. You're losing to Tim Elliott in, like, 2023. Like that's just not a good look. And I feel like if Horiguchi was matched up against Elliott, he would probably smoke him. Man, I don't know, man. But I think Ulanbekov has more of a chance of winning. But I'm just trying to switch it up, man. I'm just trying to pick an underdog here. And I like Horiguchi, man. He's a veteran. He's a skilled fighter, man. And I just hope he wins. But I'm probably gonna get this wrong. Fuck it, man. I'm picking Horiguchi by decision. Next fight of the main card, we got Waldo Cortez Acosta stepping in on 3 days. No, 3 days. I'm sorry, man. Gaziev is hilarious, dude. Good fighter. Waldo Cortez, good fighter. Anyway, man, we got Shimon Gaziev versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. Acosta, this is his 5th fight of the year. He's taken this fight on, as I said, 3 days' notice, I believe. I think Spivak got injured or something. I don't know what happened, man. But anyway, this is a bad fucking matchup for Gaziev, man. I think Cortez Acosta is going to win this fight by TKO. He's been super active this year. I think he's always in shape for a heavyweight. And yeah, man, he's definitely going to have a speed advantage on the feet over Gaziev. Gaziev does have power in his hands. He's a good wrestler, obviously, coming out of Dagestan. But I don't know, man. I just think Acosta's going to win this fight. And he's going to call for the #1 contender fight against maybe Volkov if he wins. I think that is what will happen if he beats Gaziev. I think they will match him up with Volkov. And the winner gets the next title shot after the Gan and Aspinall rematch. But yeah, man, not much else to say, man. I just think Acosta's gonna, use his boxing. He's gonna kind of stuff the takedowns of Gaziev, kind of emote on him, slip punches. Show his countering ability. Excuse me. I mean, we saw that in this fight with D'Elia. He had a good counter, which ended up knocking out D'Elia. Yeah, man, I just think the activity, the speed, hand speed, ability to defend takedowns of Cortez Acosta is going to win him this fight. He could win by decision, but I just see him getting like a TKO maybe in like round 2 or maybe even round 1, man. Who knows? But yeah, I will be picking Cortez Acosta by, TKO. Next fight of the night, we got Jack Hermansson versus Mukhtabek Oralbay. Probably one of the most random fights of the year. I mean, this is a very fucking strange fight. Obviously, Oralbay's coming up from 155, and Hermansson is coming down from middleweight. He is a pretty big middleweight, but I hope he does make weight, seeing as this is quite an interesting matchup, in my opinion. And yeah, man, I'm going to be picking Oralbay to win this fight by submission. He's got good back control. I mean, he's kind of similar to Khabib in the way he kind of gets top control, and then guys will kind of turn to their back. And obviously, we've seen him get that neck crank against Uros Medic in his debut. It's a big weight cut for Hermansson too. I do think he'll definitely be a lot slower on the feet. I don't think he's going to get dropped. I mean, I might be completely wrong with that. He did just get KO'd by Rodriguez, and he is 37 years old. But yeah, I think he'll do decently on the feet. Obviously, he's going to have a speed disadvantage against Oralbay, and I mean, he hasn't been submitted in a long time, has Hermansson, but I could see Oralbay getting a takedown, early, like round 2, maybe controlling him, maybe getting like a Kimura or some sort of like top control choke, as Hermansson is not that good off his back. I mean, he can submit you off top. I mean, we've seen him get calf sliced and TKO'd by Roman Dolidze, which I thought was a bit of a fluke at the time, but I don't know, man. We're going to find out this fight. Yeah, man, I just think that Oralbay will be winning this fight by submission. And the featured fight of the night, we got Volkan Oezdemir versus Alonzo Menefield. Again, this is another fight that I've been fence sitting, but I have eventually gone and picked. Man, actually, yeah, no, I'm going to be picking Oezdemir by decision, man. I mean, Menefield's not very skilled. He just throws big hammers. Not much of a wrestler. He's got good power in the hands. He's got fast hands for a light heavyweight. I just think Oezdemir will avoid the big shots of Menefield, kind of pick him apart at range. I don't think it'll be the most exciting fight. But yeah, I think Oezdemir is going to get back on track and win this fight by decision. and yeah, kind of just use the kicks at range, use his jab, being the taller guy, and Menifield's gonna just kind of just be throwing hammers and missing a lot of shots and gassing out and losing a decision. That's where I see that's the way I see this fight going, man. Usman probably like a 30-27 decision. I don't think it'll be that close or exciting. Either way, man, Usman will be winning this fight. Co-main event of the evening, we got Belal Muhammad versus Ian Machado Gary. Man, why won't this shit load, bro? Either way, man, Belal Muhammad, Ian Garry. I'm picking Ian Garry by decision, man. I just think that similar to the Uzdemir, in terms of range, similar to the Uzdemir Menifield fight, I just think Ian Machado Gary is just going to pick away at Muhammad at range, avoid the takedowns. I think he might get clinched up against the fence at some point, as Belal does have a good clinch and wrestling game. But he's got a huge height disadvantage. Did Ian Garry miss weight? What the hell? He came in at 180 pounds? Maybe this is a mistake, dude. I don't know. But either way, man, I will be picking Ian Machado Gary to win this fight by decision. I think this is a 3-rounder. Belal is going to kind of look to press him up against the cage, get takedowns, which I don't think he'll be able to do. Ian's going to break away, land that body kick, use his jab well, land leg kicks, and kind of just pick Belal apart slowly. I don't think he's going to get a TKO. I think he could rock Belal at one point, maybe with like a head kick or some like a leg kick will just like send him fucking spinning around and kind of falling to the canvas. But man, I'm just gonna pick Ian Garry by decision. That's a safe bet here. And yeah, he's gonna call for a title shot. Like, I deserve this. I've just beaten the former champion. And yeah, we'll see if he gets it or not. But if he wins by KO, I definitely think they will give him the title shot straight away against Islam over Kamaru Usman. But we'll see, man. I do think Ian Machado Gary will win this fight. He's just younger. He's more athletic. He's got the height and reach advantage. And I just don't see a way for Belal to win this fight, unfortunately. Yeah, man. Ian Machado Gary, 29-28 decision is my pick for the co-main event. Moving on to the main event of the evening. My boy Dan Hooker is going up against Arman Tsarukyan, man. I'm gonna be picking Dan Hooker. Nah, I'm picking Tsarukyan back here, man. I'm picking Tsarukyan back here. I love Dan Hooker, man. Obviously, I got the Kiwi bias. But I just don't see a way for him to win this fight. I think this fight's going to go quite similar to the Barboza fight for Hooker. I mean, he's just going to get beat up on the feet, tough it out, and just not really be able to throw any offense. He's going to slow down significantly, probably from the damage in round 2 or 3. And I think Tsarukyan's just going to just break him down slowly with strikes over the course of the first 3 rounds. Maybe get like a late round 3 TKO. I think Hooker's going to do a good job of defending the takedowns. I think Tsarukyan could get a takedown early on, but I think Hooker will he does have really good takedown defense, and he's going to be able to keep Tsarukyan at range for some portion of the fight, at least in the first round for some time. I think kind of stab away at his body with those front kicks and kind of use his jab and leg kicks. But man, I just think Tsarukyan is just too good for Hooker. Unfortunately, man, I would love to be wrong with this fight, but yeah, I just see Tsarukyan breaking him down with the clinch, maybe rocking him in the clinch with a short punch, and landing some big body shots. Looping shots are definitely going to beat Hooker over the straight shots. I think it's going to be Arman Tsarukyan's just going to be landing hooks while Hooker looks to land those straight shots down the middle, and yeah, man, I just think Hooker's going to kind of get destroyed in this fight and take a lot of damage and probably lose round 3 TKO perhaps. He obviously is a lot taller than Tsarukyan, as you can see on this tail of the tape, but I don't see Hooker winning, man, unfortunately. So yeah, Tsarukyan will probably win by a round 3 TKO, and if Hooker wins, it's probably going to be by decision. I don't see him KOing Arman. But either way, man, that is my pick for the main event. And those are my picks for UFC Fight Night, Arman Tsarukyan vs. Dan Hooker in Qatar. Appreciate you guys for watching. Leave a like, drop a comment if you're interested in seeing more of this kind of content. Yeah, man, subscribe to the channel, do all that good shit, man. And I will see you guys next week for a new video. Appreciate it. Goodbye.